When you no longer want to keep trying. Not because you're lazy, not because you're giving up, but because you've been trying for a very long time. You tried to do things right, you tried to move faster, you tried to hold on tighter. And then you realize, the harder you try, the more tangled everything becomes. The more you try to control, the more life slips through your fingers. Not because you're wrong, but perhaps because you've been fighting life with the very thing that drains you the most. We are taught that control equals safety. Control the outcome, control time, control other people. But very few of us are told this. Control is born from fear. Fear of losing, fear of being late, fear of not being enough. And when you live inside that fear, you are sending out a very clear signal. I don't trust that life will support me. The universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to your inner state. The more you strive from anxiety, the more you move against the natural flow of life. Imagine swimming against a river. You use all your strength, yet the more you struggle, the more exhausted you become. When all it takes is to relax your body and let the current carry you. Letting go does not mean giving up. Letting go means stopping the suffocation of life with an obsession over outcomes. You still take action, but you no longer tense yourself against the world. You stop forcing everything to unfold your way. You begin allowing life to breathe. And in that very moment, the first sense of peace appears. Awakening does not come from understanding more. It comes when you are finally tired enough to stop resisting. If right now you feel worn out, know this. Perhaps you don't need to try harder. Perhaps what you need is to let go, just a little. And when you do, life begins to open.
It is not what you desire that creates your life, but the inner state you live in each day. In applied Buddhist wisdom, everything begins with the mind. When the mind is calm, the world feels calm. When the mind is restless, life follows in the same way. This is not a distant philosophy. It is how the universe responds to your energetic vibration. Every thought you think, every emotion you nurture, is sending out an unseen frequency. When you live in inner peace, you are sending a message of trust and sufficiency, and the universe responds with opportunities, people, and situations that resonate with that state. But when you live in anxiety and desperation, when you beg life to change immediately, your vibration is no longer desire, it is lack. The universe does not hear your prayers, it feels the state you are living in. Some people say they want peace, yet spend their days immersed in fearful thoughts. They want abundance, yet act from a sense of not having enough. And then they wonder why life keeps repeating the same cycle. The law of attraction is not magic. It is simply an honest mirror. The energy you carry is the energy you meet again in your life. When you begin to change your inner state, the outer world slowly changes as well, not through force, but through resonance. Trusting the universe does not mean waiting passively. It means you keep moving forward without the fear of being lost. You do what needs to be done, but you no longer place your happiness entirely on the outcome. The moment you choose to slow down, to breathe more deeply, and to treat yourself with gentleness, your energetic vibration has already shifted. And when that vibration changes, the world no longer works against you. It begins to respond.
The more we want everything to go our way, the more uneasy we feel inside. We try to control time, control outcomes, control how others will think or respond, and then we wonder why our minds are always tense. In Buddhism, suffering does not come from wanting something. It comes from clinging to how it must happen. That very need for control creates resistance, not only with life itself, but within your own inner world. Imagine holding a handful of sand in your palm. The tighter you squeeze, the faster the sand slips through your fingers. In the end, what you fear losing the most is often the first thing to leave. Letting go of control is not defeat. It is the moment you realize that you do not need to strain yourself to be safe. You do not need to force life to follow a plan in order to deserve peace.
When you stop trying to control others, you give them the space to be who they are. When you stop trying to control the future, you give life the space to unfold new possibilities. Many people fear letting go, believing that if they don't hold on, everything will collapse. But the truth is, only when you let go do you finally breathe. Letting go and mindful living does not mean stopping action. You still move forward, you still make effort, but you no longer carry the fear that if things don't go your way, you won't be okay. When you act from inner peace, you no longer need to prove anything. You no longer race against time. You do what needs to be done and then allow life to do the rest. And in the very moment you stop controlling, a strange feeling arises. It is not loss, it is relief. Letting go of control is the first step toward freedom, not freedom from life, but freedom within life, living without being pulled by tension and fear.
We are living in a world that has never been quiet. Sound is everywhere. Notifications, news, thoughts, worries. Even when the outside is silent, there is noise within us. We are used to reacting, used to responding immediately, used to the feeling that if we say nothing, if we do nothing, we are missing something important. But in applied Buddhist wisdom, insight does not arise from noise, it arises from stillness. Silence is not an escape from life. Silence is where you stop resisting it. When the mind settles, you begin to hear things that are very small, very subtle, yet deeply true. Like a lake, when the surface is disturbed, you cannot see the bottom. Only when the water is still does everything become clear. Your inner world is the same. When thoughts rush in, when anxiety lingers, you cannot see the path ahead. Not because the path isn't there, but because the mind is too loud. Silence is an act of inner healing. It is the moment you stop telling the world that you are afraid and begin listening to where life is trying to lead you. Some answers do not come when you think harder. They come when you sit still, when you slow your breath, when you stop searching. In a world that constantly demands expression, silence becomes a strength. Not the strength to compete or dominate, but the strength to protect inner peace. When you choose silence amid chaos, you send out a very clear signal. I will not let the outer world decide my inner state. And within that quiet space, intuition begins to speak. Guidance appears. The next steps become clearer, not because you force them, but because you are finally still enough to see. Silence takes nothing away from you. It simply helps you hear yourself again.
We often believe that if something hasn't happened yet, it must be going the wrong way. If it hasn't arrived when we expected, perhaps the universe has forgotten about us. But in applied Buddhist wisdom, nothing ever arrives late. There are only things that arrive at their own perfect time. Human beings live by clocks. The universe moves through causes and conditions. We measure life in days and months, while life measures us by how ready we are. There are doors that, if opened too early, you would not yet be steady enough to step through. There are wishes that, if fulfilled immediately, might bring pain instead of happiness. Sacred timing is not delay. It is a quiet, unseen arrangement. A moment when the universe is preparing the right version of you, the right lessons, and the right circumstances. Like a flower, not because it doesn't want to bloom, but because the soil is not warm enough, the light not yet sufficient. When all conditions come together, blooming happens naturally. Your life is the same. The waiting periods, the moments that seem like dead ends, are not empty. They are phases in which you are being shaped, taught to release control, and guided to trust the universe. When you keep pushing for everything to happen now, you create more tension within yourself. But when you accept that you don't need to arrive anywhere too quickly, a quiet and unfamiliar peace begins to arise. Trusting in sacred timing does not mean remaining still. You continue to walk forward. You continue to care for what you have, but you no longer blame the present for not matching your expectations. Perhaps today, what you are waiting for has not yet arrived.
But that does not mean it never will. It simply means life is doing what is best for you in ways you cannot yet see. And when you truly understand this, waiting no longer feels heavy. It becomes a gentle part of a mindful way of living.
There is an invisible barrier that keeps people from touching peace and abundance. It does not live in circumstances, nor in ability, but in a quiet belief they hold about themselves. Many people long for a better life, yet deep inside they doubt, am I really worthy? And that single question closes the door before they ever step inside. In applied Buddhist wisdom, the way you see yourself becomes the way life responds to you, not because the universe plays favorites, but because the energy you carry always mirrors what you believe to be true. When you believe you are not enough, you unconsciously reject opportunities. You step back when it is time to move forward. You make yourself smaller before life ever has the chance to test you. The law of attraction does not ask what you want. It only listens to how worthy you believe yourself to be. If deep within you you believe that peace is a luxury, then even when you touch it, you will not dare to hold it for long. If you believe happiness is meant for others, you will always feel like an outsider. But the truth is, you do not need to prove anything in order to be worthy. Your value does not come from achievements, from pleasing others, or from becoming someone else. It comes from your very existence. When you begin to see yourself with gentler eyes, your energetic vibration shifts. You no longer walk through life with a sense of lack, but with permission. Permission to receive what is good. Permission to be loved. Permission to live a lighter life. Believing that you are worthy does not make you arrogant. It simply softens self-doubt. And when you stop standing in your own way, life no longer needs to challenge you as much. Perhaps today, you do not need to do anything more. Just remind yourself of one simple truth. Simply by being here, I am already worthy of the good things life has to offer.
We often believe that once everything becomes stable, once we achieve what we desire, once life feels less difficult, then we will finally be at peace. But the truth is, peace is not a reward waiting at the end of the road. It is the way you walk the road itself. When you wait for life to settle before allowing yourself to feel at ease, you hand over your inner state to be decided by outer conditions, and in that way, peace always remains far away. In applied Buddhist wisdom, inner peace does not come from a life without storms, but from no longer letting the storms carry you away. Peace does not mean inaction. It is the state you act without carrying fear. You still move forward, but without panic. You still make effort, but without pushing yourself to exhaustion. When you act from peace, the energy you emit becomes steady and clear. You no longer do things to seek validation. You no longer chase outcomes as if they determine your worth. Peace itself is a profound form of manifestation. When your mind is calm, you stop blocking the flow of life. Opportunities arrive naturally. The right people appear at the right time. Not because you pull them toward you, but because you are no longer pushing them away with anxiety. Many believe that to change their life, they must do more, move faster, be stronger. But sometimes, the greatest change comes from slowing down. When you allow yourself to be at peace, even without having all the answers, you send out a very clear message. I trust this process. And that trust is the strength that carries you through difficult seasons without losing yourself. Peace does not make you weaker. It makes you steadier, not to fight against life, but to live with it, gently and with awareness.
There are moments in life when you run very fast, chasing goals, chasing expectations, chasing the feeling that if you stop, everything will slip through your fingers. We are taught that to have something, we must pursue it relentlessly. We must grasp it, claim it, prove that we deserve it. And then one day, you feel exhausted. Not because you are lazy, but because you have been chasing for too long things that do not come from peace. In mindful living, there is a quiet paradox. the more you chase from a place of anxiety, the farther what you want seems to move away. Not because it is avoiding you, but because the energy you carry is no longer one of abundance, but of lack. When you stop chasing, you are not giving up. You are simply no longer running in fear. You begin to walk from where you already are. Letting go here does not mean giving up desire, but releasing the habit of placing happiness at some distant point in the future. You allow yourself to feel at ease, right here, in the present moment. And in that moment, something very subtle happens. Life no longer feels like it is pushing against you. Doors that once seemed tightly closed begin to open slightly. The right people appear naturally, without you having to force anything. To trust the universe is to do your part, and then stop wrestling with the rest. You plant the seed, you tend the soil, but you do not pull on the sprout to make it grow faster. Some things arrive only when you are no longer impatient. Some connections appear only when you are no longer afraid of loss. When you stop chasing life through tension, you become a place life wants to visit. Not because you are more perfect, but because you are calm enough to realize that what truly belongs to you will never require you to run after it.
We often believe that miracles arrive only after we try hard enough, after we endure long enough, after we overcome enough trials. But few people realize that miracles do not visit a mind that is tense. When you worry, you close yourself off. When you are afraid, you contract inward. And in that state, even if an opportunity is right in front of you, you may not be able to see it. In applied Buddhism, all transformation requires space. Just as a seed needs loose soil to sprout, the mind also needs softness for something new to emerge. Tension is a sign that you are trying to control what cannot be controlled. You are forcing the flow of life to move according to your will, and the more you force it, the more the current pushes back. Healing the mind is not about making life perfect. It is about making your inner world wide enough to hold what is still imperfect. When you allow yourself to rest, when you stop blaming yourself for things not turning out as expected, you begin to create a new kind of space, a space that is not loud, yet deeply alive. Miracles are not always dramatic. Sometimes they are simply a timely meeting, a gentler decision, or the feeling that you no longer have to hold yourself so tightly. When you release tension, you stop resisting the present moment. You begin to cooperate with life instead of struggling against it. And it is in this state that what once felt blocked naturally finds a way through, not because you did something differently, but because you became calm enough to see the path. Miracles do not come when you force them. They come when you open your heart.
Perhaps by now, you've sensed something quietly different. Not because life has suddenly become easier, but because inside you, there is less resistance to it. Letting go does not remove life's challenges, but it frees you from carrying the fear that you won't survive them. When you stop trying to control every detail, you return to life the freedom to unfold naturally, and you return to yourself the right to breathe, to rest, to move at a gentler pace. True surrender is not giving up. It is doing what needs to be done without tying yourself down with endless what-ifs and if-onlys. You no longer cling to the past. You no longer panic about the future. You begin to be fully present with this moment. And in that presence, you realize something very simple. You were never abandoned. Life never turned its back on you. You were simply too busy holding on too tightly to notice. When you let go, you create space. And wherever there is space, new life can emerge. What truly belongs to you will find its way to you without you having to chase it, without you having to trade away your peace. It may not arrive in the way you imagined. It may not come at the moment you expected, but it will come in the way most aligned with who you are now. If at this moment
you feel tired, confused, or as though you are moving more slowly than others, remember this. A flower does not bloom because it is forced. It blooms when the season is right. Give yourself a little more trust, a little more gentleness, and a little more patience with yourself. If this reading offered you even a brief moment of peace, leave a comment. What are you being asked to let go of right now? Tap like to save this energy for yourself, and subscribe to continue walking alongside readings that help you live more slowly, more deeply, and more lightly each day. Thank you for being here. May your path ahead hold stillness within chaos, peace within noise, and a steady trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to.